NFL Week 14 preview right now.
We've got Pittsburgh and Minnesota in our Thursday night football game. Let's just hand it over to you. Let's start here. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I know that it was a heartbreaking loss last week when they lost to Detroit, and no team in this day and age should be losing to the Lions. And I think Minnesota, all hands on deck tonight, and they pull off the win. I mean, it has to really sting for Vikings fans after losing to the Lions last week, and they're going to have to find a way tonight.
This is a very difficult game to pick because of the uncertainty of both teams, where both teams are in really weird positions. I thought Steelers would be, before all their picks happened, I thought the Steelers would be one of those top teams, but now they're not. I thought the Vikings would be a top team, and they're not either. But I think I can safely go with the Steelers over the Vikings. I think the Steelers have a better team overall. Well, Vikings have a better team overall. It's just communication between coach and players really lacking.
So what's your pick tonight?
We're picking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, so that'll be tonight, 7:15 Central Time. It's available on Amazon Prime, Fox, NFL Network, and on Twitch. So let's move on to our Sunday games. This is our game of the week. We're going to start get right into it. It's Dallas Cowboys and Washington Football Team. We'll start with you.
I have the Washington Football Team over the Cowboys. I think that was the game. Now, the reason why I'm going with the football team is they're making themselves a really, really hard team to beat. And I think this is a safe pick since they're at home.
Yeah, it should be about 40-degree weather, maybe high 40s at the tops. It's going to be a cooler game, not a freezing cold game like we've seen, like we saw Monday night last week. But let's move on. Or I'm actually picking the Cowboys in this game, actually. So they've had a lot of struggles this year, and they've not really had the best last few games. Of course, they get the extra time after beating the Saints on Thursday night last week. I think, and when you win a road game, it's a lot easier to win your next road game, and I'm going to go with the Cowboys. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. I've got the Titans. You know, if you're going to make the playoffs in your Tennessee, this is a game you have to have.
Yeah, I have Tennessee too. They need to make up their losses. They don't want to get a bad spot coming to the playoffs, and then they get Derrick Henry after the regular season. So I think that's a win for them. They need to win a lot of games to get some easier teams in case Derrick Henry does not come back in time.
Yeah, they're still in the driver's seat for the division, but they obviously need to win games like this. Seattle and Houston, what do you got?
I have Seattle. Houston's a weird team where they come out and they give a team the business, where they make them struggle. For example, I think it was Tennessee, but then they go out and play the Colts and then they don't even score a single point at home. It's really weird. So I have to go with the Seahawks.
All right. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. I don't think this is going to be quite close. I think the momentum that the Seahawks had at the end in the second half last week against the 49ers, that was absolutely amazing what we saw from Seattle. I didn't think that would happen. I thought that the 49ers would be able to close. They had chances in that game, but the Seahawks, of course, got a win on defense. But I think Jamal Adams is out for season, so that's not good for them going forward. But I think that Russell Wilson can guide them to a win over Houston. Chiefs hosting the Raiders. I've got the Chiefs winning. Patrick Mahomes has played really well this season, so I've got them beating Las Vegas. So, Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback. Derek Carr, not played the greatest on the road. we'll see how they do in this game. All right, what do you've got? Las Vegas Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs.
I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Saints and Jets. What do you got?
I think I can go with the Saints on this one. Jets have done a few things, but I don't think they can win over the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with the Saints as well. Honestly, the Jets, I think, have an opportunity to win this game, but I think New Orleans can run the ball, and Jets' defense not good. All right, Atlanta and Carolina. I'm going to go with the Falcons. Really, the Carolina Panthers have really crumbled into nothing, and I think the Falcons will take advantage. You know, the Falcons aren't the greatest team, but they do have weapons in some aspects. They beat the Jaguars a couple weeks ago. I think they'll beat the Panthers.
I will go with the Panthers on this one. I can't see the Falcons win. I can't see them winning.
Our last early game of the week is Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns.
I will go with the Baltimore Ravens. They need to make up what happened against the Steelers. I don't think the Browns are that good of a team. So yeah, that's what I'm going with right now.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, very heartbreaking finish a week ago. I think they all come together and collectively play a lot better offensively, make less mistakes, less penalties, and start scoring some points. And I don't think this Browns defense is the best. Games, Giants and Chargers. I've got the Chargers. You know, Giants, they're terrible, and then they have to make a West Coast trip. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have to go with the Chargers. The Giants, they got a lucky win over the Eagles 2 weeks ago. They had a blunder of a loss against the Dolphins of all teams. So I'm going to have to safely go with the Chargers on this one.
All right, Detroit Lions and Denver Broncos.
Ooh, I have to go with the Broncos. Broncos have... This is a bye week for the Broncos. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with the Broncos as well. Detroit, big win last week. Probably a lot of celebrating took place. Broncos have a pretty good team at their core. They're not a championship team, but they're a solid football team. I'm going to go with Denver. All right. Another big, let's go San Francisco and Cincinnati. I have the Bengals actually winning this game. I think this game could go either way. Both teams suffered losses last week to teams on the West Coast. I think if the Bengals at home respond in this fashion, like every other week, we see great games from Joe Burrow. I mean, I just don't see the 49ers really putting this Bengals team down.
Yeah, I have to go with the Bengals. The 49ers, like say this a lot of teams, that they're really weird. I think the Bengals are a really good team to beat the Niners and not lose them like a lot of other teams.
It's just really strange how the Bengals have played. Some weeks they're really good, and then some weeks they lose to the Jets. So let's get to our big game, Buffalo and Tampa Bay. This is the CBS featured game. What do you got?
Buffalo, Tampa Bay. I will have to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bills, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their playbook has. I think their playbook says lose the game. But yeah, the Buccaneers are a way better team than the Bills.
I do think the Bills are a pretty good team, but Patriots are not Patriots. Patriots were good. Patriots were good a week ago. And that means that the Buccaneers are going to be good this week because the Buccaneers don't lose at home.
Yeah.
The Patriots beat the Bills without passing the ball. The Buccaneers are going to annihilate this team because they have Fournette. They have, I think it's Ronald Jones as well. So, I mean, the Buccaneers can run the ball, pass the ball, especially at home. I mean, this team's a really good team at home. I've said that a lot, but they are. Let's move on. Sunday Night Football. Green Bay hosting the Bears. I'm going to go with the Packers, guys.
Yeah, we're all going with the Packers on this one. I think it's a consensus pick by everyone.
I mean, Bears are on the road, kind of having a lot of injuries to deal with. It would take just an enormous amount of turnovers from the Packers for them to cough this game up.
Yeah, but one thing is to look at Aaron Rodgers. Will he regret his actions against the last time they met? We'll see.
Well, I do recall that, and it was something about basically that the Bears just never beat him. He owns the Bears. I don't know exactly what he said, but there's something along those lines. So let's get to our Monday night game. This is a very interesting game. You know, we were talking about this game a while ago. I don't know exactly how long ago, but Arizona and the Rams. This one's in Arizona. And these teams are, quite frankly, this game actually took place week 4. This was a long time ago when this game took place. We both picked the Rams and it was the Cardinals winning. It's hard to beat the same team twice. And I just think that the Cardinals have played a lesser competition in the last couple of weeks, and they'll get a wake-up call when they play the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams in this game.
This is a really hard game to pick. Because I know in the last, if you look at the last 3 games, they played the Seahawks, the Bears, the Panthers. Well, if you include the Niners as well, and if you go back to 6 weeks, out of all 6 teams, one of them had a winning record, which was the Packers, and they lost to. But I think this is a wake-up call for the Cardinals. I have to agree with Jared on this one. I think the Rams will win this game because I think they are currently the better team. On paper, it might be the Cardinals, but I think the Rams are just really good.
Well, on paper, this should be the NFC Championship, but paper just doesn't stick because we know the Packers are a lot better than they look on paper. It's going to be a really interesting NFC. We've got the big guns in the Cardinals, Rams, Buccaneers, and Packers. All those teams really could compete. And don't forget about the Cowboys if they do get home games in the playoffs. But big game this week, or game of the week, obviously, Dallas and Washington. Jordan's got the football team. I've got the Cowboys. Jordan's got the Steelers. I've got the Vikings tonight in Thursday Night Football. And then the other non-consensus pick would be Jordan has the Panthers, and I have the Falcons of Atlanta. Should be an interesting week 14. Any last words before we sign off?
So I got my big deficit this week.
Well, the deficit has shrunken. I think it's only 8 points. It's currently 115 for Jordan, 123 for me. Jordan at 59%. I am at 63%.
Yes, I am improving.
You had a really good week
slowly.
Last week. 11-14 a week ago. That's considering the upset of the. You picked the Vikings obviously to beat the Lions, and then you got heartbroken when the Ravens went for 2 at the end. So really could have been 13-14 last week. It was a really good week for you. I mean, not for me. I was pretty average, to be honest, a week ago, and just a lot of things didn't go my way. But anyway, enjoy your football this week, and next week, big games that we've got for you include a special Saturday doubleheader on NFL Network, Vegas and Cleveland, New England, and Indy on Saturday. Big game on Sunday would be Green Bay, Baltimore, I don't think the Sunday night, Monday night games are good, but Thursday night football will start with Kansas City and the Chargers. So good week of games next week. Anyway, peace out.